Well, hello and welcome to the Midwest Esports Conference. I will be your host this evening, Captain Atsoka, joined alongside Shibby. Shibby, how are we feeling today as we get ready to head into some top-tier collegiate Valorant action?
Oh, well, we're getting to the upper bracket at Soka. We're getting to the meat and potatoes, the high quality Valorant that you expect here, and I think we're gonna get a bit of a bad blood matchup, right? At Soka, can you fill me in on the beef between these teams?
Yeah, apparently there's just a little bit of that going on. I mean, something, I've heard, somewhere in the Twitter sphere, somewhere in the Twitter space that ONU was throwing a little bit of shade earlier on. If you take a look right here with, Clarke Esports there, Clarke University, they were really happy that, they managed to take down ONU, and ONU responded saying, congratulations on beating our JV squad. So, guess what? We got a little banter between the two teams, as now Clarke University does get a chance to take on Ohio Northern University, and apparently their varsity team. So let's get ready to see how that breaks down. But of course, it's not going to be our only match of the day, is it?
And yeah, it's not going to be our only match of the day. Like you mentioned, this is going to be our first match. We're going to get into what is going to be the winners finals, the losers finals, and obviously the grands finals later on. But like you mentioned, their varsity roster coming in, ONU, The Secret, Saf, Flames, Kyle, MP10s. We saw them play their first match yesterday, and then they're like, you know what? We want to go take a break. We want to go get some ramen, some food. We'll have our JV squad handle the rest here. And obviously that's when ONU were handed their loss. So Clarke University, they've got to kind of prove to ONU that they're ready. It's like going through the Elite Four. It's like you get through the first guy, and then eventually you'll go through some of the other individuals, and you finally get to that champion that is ONU, and they finally deem that you're worthy.
Well, I honestly can tell you that, if Clarke University can definitely hold their own against the JV squad, I think they're going to be able to hold their own against the varsity squad as well. I mean, just the fact that you are here, I think, is a testament that you are worthy. So we'll see as we get ready to head into our first matchup of the day, once again between Clarke University and ONU. And I'm going to be interesting to see what these compositions are going to look like, because you have to keep in mind Deadlock is in play today, as well as Sunset. So we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about as far as compositions are going to be, and specifically also map rotations. Map rotations are going to be very interesting, considering that Sunset is in play. So are they going to pick it? Are they going to ban it? So far, we've seen nothing but bans for Sunset, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't think we've figured out a solid composition for Sunset. Obviously, the lack of pro play that's happening around it. Usually you can just draw upon like, oh, the VCT or, oh, the challenger scene or anything like that. But right now it's like purely collegiate. We're in the off season, so any comp kind of works on Sunset. I've been seeing some of the double controller that's been popping up. I've been seeing a lot of Brim on that map as well. It's a whole smorgasbord of compositions and agents, and I don't think anybody really wants to test their mettle. I think the only advantage you can get, potentially, if you're a lower seeded team, hey, pick Sunset against them. Let's see what happens. Like, make it chaotic if you're that lower seeded team. But I think we're going to be seeing a lot of double controller. I've been liking that. The Harbor Viper just allows for so much control, and it looks like we're going to jump right onto Haven. One of my favorite maps at Soka. I don't know about you. I love the triple bomb site setup when it was introduced very early on. I like the idea that there are 3 kind of bomb sites you can attack. And so we're going to see what these guys end up going here. We see the KJ, the Omen. Jet still being picked up is pretty surprising, right, at Soka, considering all the heavy nerfs that it's gotten?
Don't get me wrong, Jet has definitely gotten their fair share of nerfs, but I still think they can hold their own quite well. I've been able to see a lot of Jet gameplay, and for the most part, I don't think it's going to deter many Jets from sticking on their favorite pick. And again, I think on Haven, Jet is definitely viable, although I will say that I think Raze might have been able to cause a little bit more of a stir. But with that being said, I do like the composition that they're bringing out. I do love the Breach and Sova pick. I think that's going to go well. And at the same time, they were hovering around that double duelist, and that kind of made me a little nervous. But you look on the other side for ONU, they are going to be bringing the double duelist. They're going Neon, and they're going Reyna.
Yeah, 2 duelists that, have not been super popular across the scene, right? Like you said, it's the Jet it's the Rays, it's those kinds of agents that can really kind of expose some of these defenses. But it's going to be the Neon. I like that pick. I think it's going to rise in popularity. I think these fast hits that are really possible, right, with the Rain of Flash, with the double stun coming out from the Neon, it can really like blitz some defenses, and they might not be ready for it here. But like you said, that Sova breach combination, the arrow into the stun, it's pretty much unstoppable.
Well, let's see if it in fact can be stopped, as we're going to start with Clarke University on the attacking side of the spike here. And you can see they are going to be setting up more towards C long. That's where the bulk of the offense is shaping up. Meanwhile, look at the control over there on C. They are 3 stacking, nearly 4 stacking here on C main. As now you can see Secrets is there and waiting along the side. Out goes the Shadow, and Lordy, watch out for the Shorty. That will be the first limb going the way of ONU, as now Saf and company are going to be working towards the outside, going to be blind firing into the smoke, but I don't think Clarke University is going to give them another elimination for free.
And such a nice kill picked up from Seekers here. That's Clarke University's entry. They're only duelist. Now Clarke has to slow it down. They've got to kind of creep around the map, and they've left so much control, away from B, away from A, right? They have to then re-clear angles as Igni picks up the kill onto Saf. Saf, where were you looking, buddy?
I almost called them Engine off the first look, but yeah, Igni, again, is going to get a trade out there. They managed to find one, but then get eliminated by Kyle. Again, our cheeky Sova pick there, hearing towards B main. Now here comes Soup, going to be peeking around the corner, looking for a shoulder here, but instead they find Kyle, and they will be gunned down next, as Clarke University are down to only 2, and it is going to be a 4v2 now. Now you can see Secrets there right behind the box. They get the alert from the alarm, but only 1 player remains, and it's going to be 2 right clicks to the dome to put it into Kong. And ONU are going to be able to take round number 1.
And I love that from Secrets, playing off of the KJ turret, knowing that they're like 20 HP. They don't have to contest the opening of Garage, right? They can wait for the turret to tick off and then peek off of it. You have the rest of his team crunching from B. Just a nice little play from there. And I like that decisiveness from, ONU on that defensive side. Hey, we've got the numbers advantage. Let's not give them any opportunity to walk through, get the bomb plant down or anything like that. And that, I think it was all capped off by Secret's first shorty kill right onto that entry. And that kind of dismantled Clarke's offensive.
Yeah, and that's where the double duelist composition can really be dangerous on the defensive side. As you can already see, eliminations are going underway immediately here in round number 2. But again, when you have this double duelist comp here on the defensive side, they can definitely find themselves a couple of clicks. And speaking of Kyle on the Marshall, going back to back with the quick scopes, nailing their shots. Now only 1 elimination away from getting the ace. Kyle so far has a 4K, but no ace for them. A Flame is going to come through and get the final elimination, giving ONU a 2-round lead.
Kyle is disconnected. That's what I would be doing right now. I'd be flaming flames. I'd be like, give me my ace, man. I've already got the 4. But yeah, Kyle on that Marshall, making it look like an operator. The body shots, you're not buying armor if you're on the side of Clarke University. So it's going to be a 1-shot, 1 kill. And I think the note here is that Kyle's already had his ultimate. So he can cause some real problems for Clarke University on their first actual rifle round. If they can find out where they're planning, if they can funnel them down to a choke, that Sova ult can put in a ton of work.
Well, let's see if they can get the job done. Round number 3 underway, which is going to be the bye round now for Clarke University. They're going to be able to come through with some Vandals, some rifles, and it should give them a much needed advantage here, as ONU are going to have to stick with their picks mostly from before. I don't think they bought up this round. Clarke University going to be setting up here over towards Garage. And look at Fade, just waiting to send out the Owl drone. They slowly but surely make their way in, and you're going to have to watch the corners behind boxes. We already know Secrets. They love to hide here, but no, not much doing so far. Fade sends out the Owl drone, and they don't get any intel.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they know is that nobody's playing inside of Garage, but because that Owl drone was put in, you've got KJ playing on the outside. You've also got the C stack coming in right now. Sova, Omen, and Rain are all gonna flood in pretty soon, but for now, site control has gone over to Clarke University. I think Bio Northern just wants to play the retake with the Sova. There we go.
You know what? I don't blame them either, because Haven is very much a retack defensive type of map. And, you know, really no surprise to me that they're going to be playing for retakes here. That's the way you want to play defense on Haven, as Flames once again does make their way in.
And you love how he's using the Neon mobility just to flank on the side, right? As Fade, though, picks up 2 nice quick kills. And so what is he going to do? Is he the hero that Clarke needs? He's not. And now Egni's the only one.
Yeah, Igni now going to be making their way through this smoke here, trying to be the hero for Clarke University. But unfortunately, no good there. But that is a huge round for ONU. That is the bonus round. And on top of that, they got to pick up the weaponry that they managed to steal away from Clarke University. So that is huge. Not only are they going to be sitting on a stack of cash, but they just got a nice, they really just got a bunch of free weapons.
Oh yeah, they got, it was the bargain bin for them, right? I think that flank from Flames was what kind of set off that chain reaction. You see her dashing and running around into garage, picking up 2 kills for themselves here, and already Clarke University is playing on the back foot, and you have Ohio Northern with the rest of their weaponry flood into the site, and now Clarke University is looking at an eco, just a couple sheriffs, and I think I saw 1 stinger, but that's about it here. And this snowball could get really out of hand if Clarke doesn't start getting a grip on things, as Kyle with the operator takes 1 down.
Yeah, and that's one thing you got to be nervous about right there off the rip, because now look at this. Zerona has their hands on the op, and there's nothing more dangerous than a jet with an op, as they managed to find 3. And now, for the first time in what feels like a while, Clarke University has the advantage as Kong will get the spike planted there on the A site.
Oh, he's watching the play. You're donezo. Zerona just picking up the operator. He said they sold Clarke University. You stole some of our weapons, Ohio Northern. Let me take this off your hands, as Zerona gets the ace with the stolen operator at Soka.
And there we have it. We nearly had our first ace earlier on, but guess what? We get it now. That is our first ace of the day. Clarke University answering back in a major way. And very interesting to see Zerona not going to be sticking with that op. Actually, they throw it away in lieu instead, and they're going to take the Vandal, which at the same time, you know, you got to go with your gut. If they're feeling the Vandal more, then by all means go for it. But if I had just gotten an ace with the op, I might want to hold on to it.
Yeah, I think Zerona understands that he's the only duelist, he's the only opener here, so I don't know if he wants to play that more offensive opping style, try to take the duel and potentially lose it out here. I think they're trying to go for these quick hits onto these sites. You saw them, how quickly they were able to get onto A right after that opening pick onto the Sova. I think that's their move here. As now Flames, once again, creeping up on the flank. Just, he wants to take some of this space, but he might be looking the wrong way.
Hold on. They saw the gun out of the corner, and now you can see Flames trying to use some of that utility in order to get away. Saf there able to come through with the assist, being able to find at least 1 elimination there in the crossfire. And now ONU, once again, have a 5v4 player advantage.
Typically, you just expect the one duelist to kind of come in and maybe get a flank off. Nobody expects both the Neon and the Reyna pushing up onto you, encroaching on your space here. And I think that's what kind of caught Clarke University off guard. They lose their KJ, so they lose some of that post-plant, stall ability that usually you can get with that. But they still have their duelist. They still have, the basic pieces of their composition. They can still cook here. As now Secrets gonna get another kill with the op.
And here we go. I don't know if they look towards their side, but they finally do. And there is Kong waiting to get that elimination. Now Clarke University do have the spike over there towards the C site. They might be able to get the plant down, but look at Flames coming from the flank, and Ain is able to find them and put an end to the flank. And now just like that, we have ourselves an even game at 3-3, but I spoke just a little bit too soon. It's back down to a 2v1 Fade, looking for Kyle, tries to click the shoulder, but it will be Saf to get the backstab and the defuse, as now ONU will get their 4th round win.
Yeah, ONU playing perfectly off that contact. It was 53 HP on that Sova for Clarke University, and so you just have to play contact. Eventually, Saf is going to be able to get that flank off and secure the kill here. I love the way that ONU is just playing with each other, right? Like, they're just playing off of contact. Both Flames and Saf have just been creeping up, trying to take some of that space, and they've got each other's back. And I think that's been the key to victory for these rounds, is that ONU, it's never just one person in a space, right? There's always somebody there ready to back them up in case there's a little bit of aggression coming out from Clarke here. And now there's a 3-stack potentially coming in onto A.
This could be huge here. They have got to get rid of that Blade Storm as Secrets already takes a little bit of that damage from one blade. It looked like it hit there.
Kyle.
And again, that operator on the Secrets is very cheeky. But meanwhile, you got Kyle looking to have a little fun with the Judge. They see the barrel. They spin. They get the swing. And they find 2 eliminations there in Garage. That looks like Kyle is having a lot of fun with the Judge. Meanwhile, you have Saf here looking to get a backstab.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he's going to pick up Ain here, and now it is Jet versus the world, and unfortunately the weight may just be too heavy for Zerona here as Saf 2 kills on the backstab. And also the other side of the map, you've had the Judge play coming in. You also had Flames and Kyle working in tandem. They tried to do like a split. They tried to fake some aggression on Clarke University's side, but everything was staved off.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the Judge is probably one of the better bargain buys, like, ever of all time. You know, one of the GOAT weapons, I honestly think. But, you know, I often see them in the hands of a Raze or a Jet, you know, because they can mad dash in. They can get those quick eliminations. Same thing with Neon as well. They move very quickly into the face of the opposition, and they're able to wreak a lot of havoc with the Judge. But, you know, I guess in the hands of a Sova, or at least in the hands of Kyle, you know, it tends to work out in their favor. Meanwhile, we're underway now here in round 7.
Oh, Fade picks up the kill onto MP10s here, and that's all that KJ utility completely taken out on the C side here. But we see Secrets crouching forward with this operator. A very classic thing to do when you have it, especially on Haven. You just kind of watch that spawn rotation, and the first person to peek, he's not scoped in. Kang picks up the kill.
Yeah, you don't push attacker spawn with an op unless you're maybe a Jet or a Raze. Again, it's a little, don't get me wrong, like, I love it. I love the tenacity, you know, I love the aggression, but I think you bit off a little bit more than you could chew, and guess what? Now you kind of choked on it. Regardless, Clarke University get the spike down now on C, and this could be a very much needed round win, but Kyle, once again, not going to be going down without a fight.
And Flames just pretty much content on saving here. I think Kyle just wants to try to get as many exit frags as possible here. You mentioned ONU is sitting a little bit rich. I love the idea of just trying to break Clarke University's economy here, as they only have gotten 1 round, and I think this is their 2nd rifle round right now, as Soup picks up Kyle here, and they're gonna be looking for Flames, but he's gonna be all the way over on A side. And yeah, I like how you mentioned that, right? You don't want to push in to that C side. You don't want to push in long unless you're the Jet or the Raze. I think the big mistake there was just he wasn't scoped in. Secrets was just walking casually. He was scoped in for so long, and he got a little antsy. He got a little impatient, and unfortunately got Valorant timing.
Valorant timing at its finest. Honestly, had Secrets just stayed hard scoping on C long, they would have went there eventually anyway. So again, you kind of, you know, you jump the gun, no pun intended. Maybe a little bit of a pun intended there. You know, jumping the gun a little bit. But now you got Zerona with the operator. And again, like I said, I think the Jet with the op is probably the scariest thing, you know, in Valorant. And with that being said, Zerona not having any issues with the Jet here on Haven.
Yeah, and I think it's just trying to now using it almost as a defensive option on the offensive side, if that makes sense, right? Like, he's trying to understand, like, okay, these guys like to push up. They like to really take some of the space if they know that we're on one side of the map. So let me just use this operator kind of as a stalwart defense. Like, you know, getting away, killing the Flames, killing the Reyna here as the kill does get picked up onto the Neon. And now the Rolling Thunder gets invested.
And it didn't come in no time sooner either. It couldn't have come at a better time.
Secrets?
Because that definitely helped the push. But meanwhile, Secrets able to get a 3K, 3 head clicks back to back to back, looking to get another and possibly even get an ace. But nope, there it goes. Saf able to find Soup there over there towards B, and now Secrets on the swing, looking to push through the smoke here as the Lear does go out, but not much doing. And now Fade is just gonna have to try and buy time and hopefully get a couple of exit frags on their way out.
It was such a beautiful start, too, right? They got the kill onto Flames, right? ONU already was at the 4v5 disadvantage, but the Rolling Thunder got invested, and then out of nowhere, Secrets just picks up a couple kills as Saf takes the remaining one down. And it was just these two individuals that carried that round for ONU. It was Saf and Secrets just having a major round for Ohio Northern, and that's the scary part. It feels like any of these players on ONU's varsity squad could just turn it up at the blink of an eye.
Yeah, you know what? One thing I just want to point out real quick, just for the funds, for the most of it, just for the funsies, I love that Fade is playing Sova. Because it gives me a challenge. Because every time I say Fade, I'm thinking of the agent Fade. Like, you know, you love when you see that there's a player with the same name as an agent and they're just playing a completely different agent. It's just so much fun for me. But regardless, you know what else is going to be a lot more fun? How about round number 9?
Zora dashes in here, but Secrets once again just maintaining this defense. Can you get one more? I mean, that's a 3v5 now.
Yep, that it is, and now Secrets once again on a tear. They could possibly ace, looking to get the final limb, and it's none other than Fade. I may have caster cursed this as Secrets does go down. They don't get the ace, but now we have a 1v1, and now it is a 1v none. Flames with the op, able to get the final elimination in the 7th round win for Ohio Northern University.
Yeah, and he was just, like you said, hard scoping that angle. He was just waiting as the timeout has come in. And I agree, Clarke, you need to kind of stop the bleeding. You need to look at what is happening here. Where are you going wrong with your strategy? Because I think that one pivotal round where they got the kill onto Flames early, don't be afraid to slow things down if you're Clarke University, right? I think we've seen a lot of teams at the higher levels do this. They'll get a pick offensively, right, onto one of the sites. And instead of just rushing in, they'll just wait, right? They'll wait for the rotations. They'll wait for somebody else to mess up on the defensive side, and they can just attack another site. It feels like Clarke, like you said, no pun intended, their whole team is jumping the gun on the offensive, on the hit, and they're just getting punished because they're not clearing corners properly, or Secrets is just getting so much value right. He got a triple kill 2 rounds ago. He got a double kill this round previously. It just feels like they're not actively thinking about where these individuals are hiding, or even, you know, potentially pivoting to another site.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, but they really need to utilize their initiators a lot more. They seem kind of quiet. I mean, you have the Breach, you have the Sova. That's a lot of utility that you can use to get onto site and get the spike planted. But honestly, I haven't seen a lot of that utility being used just yet.
Yeah, the util combos, right? You want to get that aftershock going. You want to combo it up with the Sova dart, especially if it scans somebody. If it finds somebody, you immediately follow up with the Breach utility. Then you have the Jet dash in, pick up the kill, and then you can have the rest of the team kind of follow up. It just feels like Clarke is a bit desynced at best, as now the Odin has come into the popular B site spam spot.
Oh yeah, and you know what? There's nothing I love more than a good Sova-Odin combo. I don't know if the Odin is on the Sova, but that's where I would put it if I could. Meanwhile, you do see the lockdown going out, Kyle, with the Hunter's Fury not going to be able to find any, but Soup manages to find Saf there, over there towards Sewers by the A site. And now it's going to be a 4v4 here as the spike makes its way over to C.
Oh, this could be a huge judge play coming out. This Owl Drone misses the Jet here, and yes, Rona can pick up 2 here.
Last player standing.
Yeah, we said it before and we'll say it again. Isn't the judge just oh so fun, being able to wreak absolute havoc there in the short range? Meanwhile, it's going to have to be a 1v3 retake, and Clarke University, again, need a win here. This should be it. Able to get rid of the Nano Swarm, throws out the smoke. Going to fake the defuse, eats the concussion, and now it's just a blind fire into the smoke. They're not going to be able to hang on as Kong is able to put an end to Secrets and get the 3rd round win here for Clarke University.
And this can be a very manageable game, right? If Clarke can end up getting this to run a 7-5 round score, this could easily swing in Clarke's favor on the halftime map here. And if they go on the defensive, because they've got, like you said, a lot of utility. They've got a lot of retake ability on the defensive side with the Sova, with the Breach, right? You've obviously got the KJ down to lock down some of these sites, as though Ohio Northern, they've got a couple ultimates in their bank here. They've obviously got the Reyna ult, but I want to see that Neon ult popped and just get really, really aggressive against Clarke University.
Well, let's see if they can get it done here in round number 11. We are that much closer now to halftime. Soup is going to be lining up there towards window in mid. Secrets, though, once again, in that cheeky spot, has a stinger in hand. And if they push through that smoke, that is going to be an instant elimination. Again, that short range for the stinger, it literally just eats your health away. As they're going to keep the smoke alive, and no one even dares to push in as finally the Owl Drone goes out.
Ooh, they definitely heard him move across. This Owl Drone doesn't spot anybody, but gets some information as to who is creeping around these smokes. And now we see the rotation starting in very early. Sova and Killjoy have moved onto this C side, but I like Clarke University. Look, they're slowing it down. They're putting the tempo down. They're waiting for somebody to make a mistake, and Flames is that individual.
Yep, that they are, and down they go. Meanwhile, Soup is able to gloss over Saf, and Saf is able to find Kong out of pocket, gets the elim, and catches them in rotation. And now we have ourselves a 4v4 Spike continuing to head to A, and this should be a free plant. But look at this. Secrets, thanks to the kill feed, will be eliminated by Soup, and Clarke University are just chipping away at the defense of ONU as finally the Spike will be planted on the A site. And now Fade able to get Saf out of pocket and in rotation off the flank again. Clarke University should be able to walk away with this win.
I love the fact that Fade sniffed out that flank from Reyna, because Saf has done that a couple times now. You just had to wait it out as Kyle, Sheriff in hand, but unfortunately, Rona with the Vandal is able to close it out. And Clarke University coming alive here at the almost the end of the half. I love the idea. I love that they've kind of adapted their playstyle. And Zerona has the knives ready, and Fade in a couple ulti points will be able to get that ultimate online. So if you give him a bomb, you give him the ult orb, and you can have a really nice post plant coming out from Clarke University to kind of tie this up. Not tie it up, but ended up 7-5 at the half.
Yeah, and that's not bad at all. As a matter of fact, an 8-4 isn't even bad at the half, too. To be completely honest, I mean, I have seen a lot worse and more dire situations still come around and, you know, take the half. So again, you know, just the fact that they managed to get four wins here towards the end of the half definitely is going to do them a lot of favor going into the next half as well. But let's see how they hold on here as we do go into the last round here of the first half. It's going to be round 12 already underway, and like you said, they're changing the pace of the game here.
Yeah, I love that Clarke has decided to take it down a little bit. I think after that timeout, they realized, like, hey, why are we just like trying to bum rush in onto sites? If they're so quick on the rotations for ONU's side, let's use that to our advantage. Let's even get a pick and completely rotate out. Yeah, we might lose one, but we'll still have the advantage momentum-wise, as now these corners have to get cleared. Rona Flames once again, the first one to go down for ONU.
Yeah, you also got to keep that aim up a little bit. Trust me, that's something I get told all the time when somebody's spectating me. Put your aim up, put your aim up, you know, and now here I am saying it to somebody else. Regardless, Saf now able to find one limb on Soup. Out goes the Blade Storm, and down goes Zerona. Not much doing there, but Saf is able to make quick work of at least 2 limbs. Now finally does get gunned down by Ain. Secrets looking to find at least one cheeky shoulder pick here. As you can see, Ain will be moving down low underneath Heaven.
And I love that Clarke University, they're just sending their Sova, you know, away as both Ain and Kang pick up a kill respectively for each other. And Clarke University at the half make it 7-5. And, you know, I honestly thought it was looking a little dire for Clarke after we saw what it was like. It was 7-2 scoreline. But I like the fact that Clarke took the timeout. They took some time to breathe, and now they're going to be on the defensive side here. And this is where ONU's double duelist composition, I think, can really shine.
Oh, absolutely. That's what makes me nervous for Clarke University. Like, don't get me wrong. You were able to end the half beautifully. 7-5 split. Nothing to be upset about right there. That is a good run there in the first half. But now in the second half, you're going to have to deal with an ONU offense. And we already know, just from watching their defense, they are very aggressive. So let's see what ONU brings to the table now that they're on the offensive side of the Spike.
And Flames already taking the sprinter form here, just making a bunch of noise around grass, you know, keeping Clarke University on their toes. Is she going to go into garage? Is she going to go up B here? Is the timing just missed? I don't think Fade saw this Neon sneak into garage. She's got some really good timing here.
Yep, that they do. As you can see, they're already trying to make their way over towards C. Flames now nearly being able to find some damage on the Sova, but that Sova just gets away right in the nick of time. As now you can see Zerona will be the next on the chopping block as they get flanked out by Kyle.
Yeah, and it was just because, unfortunately, the alarm bot was triggered. They shot that, and a nice little double peek, double swing coming out as Soup through the smoke picks up a nice kill. That I won't think stop Ohio Northern's offensive here, is now MP10 gets a kill onto Kang, and the Soup and Fade. These are the two individuals that need to be heroes for Clarke University right now.
You know what? I wish them the best of luck in this 2v4 retake. I mean, this is going to be quite the tall task, as already you could see Soup trying to get a shoulder peek onto one towards boxes, but they get called off by the Neon Util. They have to back off now, trying to re-entry, just getting eaten up by the bot. They don't even bother to take it out. That bot right now dealing a lot of damage finally does get put down, and now you can see Flames from the corner is just going to buy enough time for Impotens to get the final elimination and the first win of the half, going the favor of ONU.
Yeah, and I love what ONU did there, right? They got their fade into Garage, right? Saying, hey, you know what? Clarke University is probably calling for the rotate. Wait, there's a fade in Garage here. They're aggressing in. And then that gave Clarke University the false confidence to push up through that A short, through sewers, and they just got double swung, and that's the A site for you. I like that ONU is trying to do this bait and switch playstyle almost with this duelist.
And you know what? I am a fan of the bait and switch. You know, it's the classic. It is a classic, and it works. Gotta love the bait and switch. Meanwhile, we're getting well and underway here into round number 14. And of course, we already know how the Valorant script goes. You take the pistol round, you get the advantage there in round 2, and then you make your way in towards the bonus. But you got to keep in mind, even in the first half, ONU were able to win the bonus round on the defensive side. Let's see if they can make it happen again. You can see the spike is making its way once again towards A.
Yeah, and Ohio Northern pretty much get full site control with these smokes. You should see Flames just jumping around like a typical Neon player. They have to keep their fingers warm at Sook. I've noticed that if you're on Neon, it's almost obligatory to just keep jumping and running around here. Now the retake comes in. Secrets picks up a kill.
And Flames now going to be blind firing into the smoke, but can't get it done, as now the trades are being made on the A site. Saf able to find another and able to find the last as well. ONU will take yet another round, but Clarke University are going to have an opportunity to strike back, as now we head into the bonus round of the second half.
Yeah, and they got a good bit of damage onto ONU's eco, right? 2 members went down from ONU, and now they have to kind of sit on either sheriffs or maybe like a stinger and a light shield if they want to be able to bring rifles into the next round. As Clarke University, like you mentioned, they're going to have a lot of their rifles. They're going to have a couple Phantoms, some Vandals here. Theoretically, at Soka, they should win the round based on gun advantage, but Secrets has picked up the hero Vandal for himself here, and we already see him put work on the defensive side. Let's see if he can match that here.
Well, here we go, already entering here on towards the B site. Flames able to get the job done using those walls just to get themselves onto the B site. Now looking to get the plant, but that nade from the breach is going to hold off on the spike plant, as Saf able to find yet another elimination. But you can see, thanks to the kill feed, Ain was able to put it into Secrets as well, and now it's a full rotation onto the C site.
Oh, such a smart play, right? They invested so much onto B. They got the guy lurking from C Link here, CT, and now the retake has to be played for Clarke University into these really tight corridors where you've got, you know, Spectres, and yeah, MP10s picks up onto Zerona.
Take a look at this. They are just calling out each and every flank coming from the side of Clarke University. Now you have yourselves a 2v1. Soup is on a spree, but finally does get eliminated. Impotens now in a 1v1 has to at least buy enough time for the spike to continue to tick away. There goes the audio cue and the flank from Impotens, as they will come in clutch to put ONU in the double digits.
Oh, that KJ post plant is so scary because you got to worry about the turrets, the alarm bot. No, by the way, there are also mollies on there just in case. But yeah, MP10s coming up big, right? It looked like Clarke almost had it. They got them down to a 2v1, but the isolated 1v1s, Ohio Northern's MP10s was able to kill the guy near Garage and then the individual tapping the bomb here. And Clarke University, they could have played that just a little bit better, but I think the pressure is getting to them just a little bit.
Yep, at the end of the day, you're either going to go numb on the thumbs or sick on the sticks as the day continues to go on. Let's see which will be which. ONU now, once again, going to be leading off on the offensive side of things. Looking to find at least one elimination early here towards B, but the Jet managed to get away. They only have like maybe a fraction of a health bar left. I mean, right now, if you're looking at the bar for Clarke, I don't even know how Jet's still alive.
He's got like 5 HP. Like, we'll maybe find it if the observer goes on to it. I'd love to see that Jet's HP bar at the moment. He's definitely got like 5 or 6, and there's not any healing. It's 3 HP coming out from Zerona. So yeah, you're gonna see on the kill feed, it's 147 damage done by Flames here. But crucially, what we missed is that Ohio Northern, they've lost their KJ on the offensive. Clarke University is making them work for it just a little bit.
And you know that they should. Like we had saw in the first half, Clarke University could definitely make a comeback, and they could do so again. Ain right now is waiting for Secrets to push here. I think they have a good read. I think they know that they're there, and here comes the swing, and Secrets will be able to get the elimination. And now things are back and evened up at 4v4 as the spike is yet to be planted, and now makes its way over towards the A site. Secrets again able to find another.
And this is, you say it's a 3v4, but pretty much, I mean, I feel like this Jet is on a limb here. Zerona goes down here, but Soup picks up Saf. The defensive Killjoy ultimate coming out for the retake as one player is detained. Are they just going to be able to stick the defuse?
One enemy remaining.
I thought so, but maybe not. Secrets again able to get away here as they do come away with the elimination on Secrets. Now it's a 1v1. Kyle versus Kong. Kong going to be swinging out from boxes, and they are able to get the read on Kyle. And that was a great use of the KJ lockdown in order to retake on A. That's how you want to play Haven, and that's how you get clutches, as Kong does manage to get the defuse and the 6th round win for Clarke University.
And I love the idea of smoking the bomb off, you know, tapping it and then just walking all the way around. Because you have to realize that Sova is looking for the swing. He's looking for the peek out from the smoke, or waiting for the smoke to dissipate to see if Kong is sticking it. But instead, he walks all the way around, gets him on the timing, and unfortunately, that Sova is just not looking his way. So gets the kill, gets the defuse, and Clarke University finally pick up a round here to try to make this just a little bit more competitive.
Let's see what more they can do. We are underway here in round 17, and already Secrets able to find an elimination on Zerona. That is huge. They're getting rid of that Jet duelist extremely early and get themselves a 1-player advantage. Meanwhile, you do see Soup able to put an end to Saf, evening the numbers again. 4v4. Flames going to entry their way into Garage. Takes too much damage, and Soup is able to find the elim, but Impotence, thanks to the kill feed, also able to find another. And now Soup again trying to make their way back to the C site.
Soup has really been stepping it up here on the defensive side. He's been picking up a lot of kills. He's been getting the better of Saf, as now the retake is probably going to be coming in. And they spotted this Omen. He's got to get out of dodge.
Yeah, you're really not going anywhere at that point. You are in point blank range. You have been spotted out. There is smoke there, and you've only really highlighted yourself. As now you can see the swings are being made. The final elimination goes down. And now, much like we saw in the first half, Clarke University starting to make somewhat of a comeback.
They're adapting, right? They're understanding how Ohio Northern likes to play some of these sites. They understand that, you know, just because they see 1 or 2 individuals on the A side doesn't mean they're fully committed. And so I like that Clarke University has just kind of been not over-rotating, not kind of doing the same mistakes that ONU is doing on the defensive side. And I think Soup, like I said, has been just been coming up super big on the defensive side. Picking up 2 quick kills, and then also just staying alive and having your util out can cause so much havoc. The retake from Clarke was also really beautiful. I want to see how ONU is going to look to use this KJ ultimate, if they're going to go into that sewers area, pop it there and go for the site take, or if they're going to be a little bit more patient, because ONU, this game could easily slip out of their hands.
Yep, that it can. But take a look at this. ONU going to be taking their timeout now. And you have to remember, when Clarke University used theirs, they went on a little bit of a tear. So now ONU is going to take a little bit of a moment to get a breather and, you know, get their heads right, right on. And try and figure out a way to kind of stop this Clarke University comeback before it even starts.
And I love these timeouts because you can tell that after these timeouts, usually the next couple rounds afterwards are much more planned out, right? They have a much more cleaner idea of how they want to attack a site. They're not necessarily playing just off of instinct, just off of feel. You've got them talking about where they want to use util, how they want to do it. And I think we're going to see a lot more of a more thought out plan coming out from ONU this time.
Let's see what they can do. We're getting ready to head now into round 18. And right now, you're looking at the power of the purse, and it's going all the way of Clarke University. I mean, Ohio Northern, they're forced into somewhat of a bargain bin buy. You know, they're really reaching at the bottom of the bargain bin on this one.
Yeah, and they're going 5-man onto grass here. Looks like they want to try to take B again. And I don't know if there's going to be one of those fake hits that they did last time, or if they're actually going to finally commit onto the site. If you do have, like you said, these bargain bin buys, you want to play these close range engagements, especially with things like the Stinger, like the the Sheriff, so that you can maybe get a pick here. As now, an attacker Killjoy ultimate is going to buy them some time. It's going to shave some seconds off the clock for this post plant, and we're going to see how Clarke attacks it.
And meanwhile, you do see Soup looking to get the wall bang there, able to do a little bit of damage. Flames, though, finds an eliminate. Now Kyle finds another, but the kill feed going all blue there, as now Kong is able to get an elimination onto Saf. Impotence from the outside. Waits for the smoke to dissipate. They did hear at least the audio cue. There it is. And now they go for the swing. They get one, looking to find an end to Ain, but Ain comes from out of the smoke and swings the corner and is able to get the defuse, as Clarke University are now within 2 rounds of equalizing against ONU.
And such a nice move from, Ain here to half the bomb at least. Yeah, you bait you bait Kong just a little bit here, but you just put that seed of doubt into MP10's, right? Say, is he still sticking the bomb? Like, I'm confused. I haven't seen him swing out the smoke yet. And now when the spam comes out, when you know where their crosshair is, you can just swing off of it, pick up the kill here, and go to re-defuse the bomb. Really well played from Clarke University. I like that ONU, though, came with a plan. They had the 3 quick kills. It's just the gun advantage came out from Clarke, and they were able to close it out here. But this is looking a lot tighter than we expected.
That it is. And now we are well and underway here to round number 19. Things definitely getting a lot closer now. As you can see, the spike is going to be left there over towards sewers. Kyle going to be sending out the owl drone, looking for a little intel. Not much doing. Now Flames does get at least one read here onto Ain, looking to get the shoulder click, but the shots are not on target. They are able to deal a little bit of damage, but not enough to confirm.
I feel like that's been the story of Flames, right? Just gets a nice chunk of damage, but isn't able to confirm the killer. As now Zrona, with this defensive operator, can really put some pain onto Clarke University, but misses the first shot. Misses the second shot.
My ult's ready.
Love to see it. They missed the first 2 op shots, but at the end of the day, it was the right click with the classic that was able to find the elim. And now take a look at Impotence out towards Garage. They're the last player standing in this 1v4. The swing goes out and Impotence goes down. Clarke University now 1 round away from tying us back up at 10 apiece.
Op shots be damned. It doesn't matter because the classic, the free gun at Soka is the best one of them all, like you mentioned. That right click coming in, picking up that kill onto Flames. And it feels like Flames offensively and this double duelist composition isn't really doing what we expected it to, right? If they're not aggressively, going in onto the site and picking up a kill or two, right? They kind of get the site, and then once the retake comes in from Clarke, their value kind of diminishes if you're the Neon and the Reyna, specifically on that post plant here. You really want to get some opening kills. You really want to use that kind of quick speed and quick hit and jab motions that you can do with this Neon Reyna, and then try to bait Clarke University's rotation out here. But Clarke being stalwart in their defense here.
The only thing I'm thinking right now is, like, I wonder what the tweet is going to look like if Clarke University wins this. If Clarke University manages to take the win here, what do you think the Twitter beef is going to look like? It's got to be good. As you can see, Flames looking oh so good with the Neon ult, as they do finally get gunned down there, but not before getting the trade. Saf now on the Sheriff, able to find one, and Fade, thanks to the kill feed, able to put an end to Impotence, is now ONU. He's going to be planting the spike here on B. And now it's going to be a retake coming from Clarke University, but Secret's able to find an elimination on Kong once again, thanks to the kill feed. As Kyle, they pop the Hunter's Fury and then put it away. Ain will be eliminated by Kyle, and that is a huge thrifty round coming from ONU.
I love that. You pop that ultimate. You don't commit to every single shot because you feel like somebody might be pushing. You just play the post-plant game. You play the ring around the rosy. And unfortunately, Ain was the victim of that game here. And like you said, a massive thrifty coming out from Ohio Northern. And Clarke University, oddly enough, I thought with the successive round wins that they've had, they would have a bigger bank account to lean on, but now they're on a bit of a broken bye and could easily make it, Ohio Northern could easily make it to 12-9 right now.
They definitely can. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it here, as Ohio Northern University are only one round win away from putting themselves into match point. Ain able to get the head click onto Flames with the Guardian. And we have ourselves an early trade for V4. As you can see, the spike is still going to be listing around mid and not really committed to one side or the other. Soup now goes for the swing and is able to put it into Saf, who looked like they had the Empress popped. Did they use their ult just now?
Yeah, it did look like they had the Empress popped here just to try to get something done as Secrets pops the ultimate just to get some information, but it's a 3v4 right now. Clarke University, they've been turning these rounds on their head. Even with this broken bite, I love the strat that they did where they spammed that B window area to let Ain walk up and just instant get the head tap with that Guardian. And now Kyle and the rest of ONU, they've lost both of their duelists. They've lost both of their entry. They're going to have to sneak their way in onto this site, and Soup is still just hiding in that corner.
And now the util is able to point out Impotence as they are now vulnerable here. On to C main. The recon bolt does get destroyed. Fade once again trying to send out another as Soup finds an elimination with the Stinger. And now they're going to be able to actually entry their way onto site, but Ain comes through with a beautiful shot there thanks to the kill feed onto Impotence. And now Kyle is the last player standing for ONU. And it looks like Clarke University are once again going to put themselves within one of equalizing against ONU as the final seconds tick away. And unfortunately for Kyle, really not much they could do. And that's going to be another thrifty round, 2 back-to-back, this time in the favor of Clarke University.
It feels like teams get so much more creative when they've got worse weaponry. It's like, well, why can't we employ these kind of strategies when we have Vandals and Phantoms? It just feels that, you know, the high risk, you know, high reward kind of strategies that you see on these thrifty rounds are just much more suited. I would love to see Clarke get a little more creative on this, especially now that they kind of got that full buy going. But if this game has pointed anything out, I especially feel like Ohio Northern with these rifles, with some of these rifles and some of these kind of weird buys that they have, they might just win the round here. It's subverting expectations today at Soka.
Oh, 100%. But, you know, we're getting down to the wire. And if this trend continues to go the way it has been going, we could very well see overtime, extra rounds. But let's see if ONU going to be able to clutch up here.
Don't tease me with a good time at Soka. Extra rounds, overtime, another chance to see some of these teams go back at it, especially with full inventories. The 5,000 creds, that's where it gets really, really sick. Is now Flames just says, "What's up?" drives by, you know, and he's like, "All right, I know where one person is."
And this time they were actually able to entry very well onto the B site. And not only that, but they're going to get some frags on the way out as well. Saf able to get one on Zerona, and now Flames in a cheeky spot, able to find an limb. Saf with another. And right now, ONU are just taking absolute control of the B site.
Yeah, and Saf was able to get that kill through the Rolling Thunder, was able to use the Rain of Dismiss to get out of there and pick up more kills here. Finally, this double duel is coming a little bit alive in these later rounds as, yeah, Clarke University, they've lost so many members. This retake was nigh impossible. I love that from ONU to finally commit onto that B site, right? They've done the fake where they put the Neon in, they got him, you know, drive-buying across, and then they pivot to the C site here. But instead, they just opt in to take it. Even through the Rolling Thunder, Clarke University invested. Ohio Northern's able to take it in. And now, they're on match point at Soka. This is do or die for Clarke University.
Yeah, and speaking of an investment, look at Zerona, gonna invest there in the op. If you ask me, I would say just get the Vandal and then use those extra credits to try and buy Kong anything. You know, the Spectre's great, but they're still sitting at a half shield. So let's see if the investment into the operator pays off. As you can see, they're already going to be watching towards sewers. And again, they're pushing up. They're hard scoping, but they're still being a little aggressive. They're going to hold that angle. But you know what? It looks as though ONU are once again going to head towards mid. They have found success here time and time again, and they're going to try and double down on the B site.
Oh, and that shock dart kicks down some of the mollies here. And Soup, can he come up big for Clarke University? He's done it before. The defensive Killjoy ultimate gets taken out, but now that Killjoy ultimate might get taken away. The KJ's gone. They're just going to back out here, reassess the situation. It's a 4v4 at the moment.
And you know what? Much like we have seen in earlier rounds, it looks as though ONU have rotated over towards the C site. They have full control, and this should be a free plant. There's no one there to stop them, as Secrets will get the spike planted, and now it's going to be a 4v4 retake for Clarke University if they want to keep this game alive.
They've got 2 Garage at the moment. I also think they've got some KJ utility coming out from Ohio Northern. As now Saf picks up a kill onto Clarke University. Fade gets taken down as well. Saf with the 3-piece combo at the moment. Oh, and like that! That's a 13-10 for Ohio Northern.
Well, and there you have it. ONU come out on top, but I gotta tell you, there's not a chance that ONU expected it to be that close. I'm sorry. There's no way. I mean, Clarke University able to make a comeback in the first half, even it's up at a 7-5 split, go into the second half, able to make a comeback again, and it only is decided by 3 rounds, and it was a very close game. I don't think the scoreline does it justice, honestly. When you're looking at like the 13-10, it's close, sure, but I really felt like that one had the potential to go into OT. I really thought it was going to go the distance, but I got to tell you, I mean, ONU, I mean, they're probably going to come out with a cheeky Twitter post. You know, they're probably gonna say something, and it's going to be funny, but at the end of the day, you know, whether they admit it or not, ONU sweated just a little bit more than they probably thought they were going to.
I think ONU has the tweet in the draft ready to go, right? they had it photoshopped. It didn't matter. They knew they were going to win here. But like you mentioned, a lot closer of a match than we expected. And Clarke University has been putting in work across the bracket even since yesterday. So they're going to go down, move to the losers bracket here. And Clarke University is going to go, obviously, to the winners final. ONU is going to go to the winners final. Clarke is going to go to the losers bracket here. And they're going to face off, right? We could see at Soka a potential rematch between these 2 teams in the grand finals, and that would be a best of 3, not just a best of 1. I think that would be amazing to see 3 13-10 really close matches from these guys. I mean, I know that gets me excited.
Oh, absolutely. That would be pretty exciting to see, especially there in the grand finals. You know, we've already seen numerous times teams that manage to run the lower bracket. As a matter of fact, one of the recent streams that I have casted, Misfits, managed to actually make a lower bracket run in order to take a game away from Shopify Rebellion. So it's happened recently, and it can happen again. But with that being said, I think we're going to take our first break here, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more Valorant action right here at the Midwest Esports Conference.